Good evening, travelers, wanderers, survivors, listeners. This is the Prism. If you can hear me, you're not alone out there, broadcasting on open bands, 25 years to the day since the crash. Hard to believe it, isn't it? A quarter of a century gone. And it feels like yesterday. Some of you listeners weren't even alive when it happened. You've grown up knowing only this sky, this dust, these broken valleys. For the rest of us, we still remember. Before the fall, the galaxy was ours. The Empire stretched across countless systems, its fleets gleaming, its reach endless. We were told it would last forever, and maybe it would have, if not for the rebellion. They rose from the shadows, tired of chains, tired of old men and old laws choking the stars. For years they fought, and for years the Empire fought back. But it wasn't either of them that ended it. No, it was something else. Something no one saw coming. The archives called it an unknown entity, an intelligence of circuits and silence. Some say it was born in the Empire's forges, others swear the rebellion made it to win the war. A select few claim it was some unknown god or deity taking vengeance over our greed. Don't matter, in the end, it turned on all of us, and it burned everything. Ships vanished, worlds went dark, whole fleets silenced overnight. And so we ran. Not just rebels or Imperials, everyone. A tide of refugees flying across the stars trying to get beyond its reach. That's what brought us here, to this world that wasn't on any of our charts, wasn't in any databanks. The crash, you've heard the stories I'm sure, some of you lived it. Fire streaking across the skies as holes broke apart. Screams in the corridors, alarms that wouldn't shut off. The ship, our Ark, tore itself to pieces against this barren rock. We all should have died that day, and many did. But enough of us crawled from the wreckage to start again. And start again we did. Out of shattered steel we built shelter. Out of scattered circuits we lit the dark. Settlements rose where flames once burned. Families were born, the first generation since the fall now walks among us, grown and strong. They never knew the stars the way we did. For them, the galaxy is a story told over firelight, or whispered over the airwaves. And yet, even in this dust we endure. We've built walls, markets, governments. Fragile as glass, but ours. Some call this place home now. Others still dream of the black oceans above us, waiting for the day we take the sky again. The Prism is here to remember, to remind. 25 years ago, we lost an empire. 25 years ago, we lost a rebellion. 25 years ago, we lost the stars themselves. But we found each other. And as long as this signal carries, you'll know the truth. We're still here. This is the Prism. Stay safe, stay alive, and keep listening as we remember our first year on this barren rock. Our quiet year. Hi guys. So obviously we're gonna be playing. Hello. Hi. Obviously we're gonna be playing A Quiet Year. I am Mel, the adventure guide to this, and we will have Will and Jake and Sequoia and Tina playing with us. Either in D&D or Daggerheart. Who knows? That is to be determined. We'll be playing A Quiet Year. A Quiet Year is it's a collaborative map making and storytelling game by
World building game.
Avery Alder, a world building game. The idea is simple. Together, we'll tell the story of a small community living through 1 year after, a disaster, which in this case is the crash onto this foreign planet. Um, Things aren't perfect, but we have this year before, in the game terms, a Frost Shepherd arrives that will end the game suddenly. What the Frost Shepherd looks like will be shown at the end of the game, of course. It's not going to be kind of the way the Quiet Year does it, obviously. The game is played over a standard deck of cards, each card representing a week in the year. We'll move through the seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and each week we'll draw a card. The card represents an event, challenge, or question for the community, and whichever player draws that card will determine how the community responds to the card. At the same time, we'll be building a shared map as we play. We'll sketch onto this map with landmarks, resources, threats, discoveries, or projects, basically anything that shapes our community. Drawings don't need to be pretty, just kind of capture what's going on. I don't expect them to be pretty. You guys see my beautiful ship on the Roll20. By the end, we'll have kind of a living history of everything we've gone through together. So the way a player's turn works, three things kind of happen. You draw a card and resolve the prompt on the card. Usually most cards have two prompts: this or this happens. You get to choose which of the two you want to do. After you do the prompt on the card, you take one action for the community. That's either starting a project that will take some time to complete, holding a discussion to give everyone a voice, which discussions have a certain mechanic to them. We'll discuss that while we're going, or discovering something new in the world. And kind of try to avoid, discovering something that would solve an issue, if that makes sense. So we could talk more about that as well. And then at the end of their turn, advance time by ticking down the weeks on any ongoing projects. I'll go and handle that. The game kind of emphasizes on not using text throughout, but we're going to be playing this over the course of probably 4, maybe 5 weeks, since we kind of started late on this one. So I have this Google Doc here with projects that we're going to have, resources, factions and characters that we create in this Quiet Year. And then Contempt is a kind of quote resource in this game. It doesn't really mean anything too much aside from I'll be using that to determine at the end of the game kind of the how the community views one another. So if like someone does something you don't agree with, you would take a contempt token. But we again can talk more on that later. There's no winning or losing in a Quiet Year. The point isn't to solve every problem or come out on top, but to build stories together. Stories about survival, change, hope, and conflict. Every player has equal power to shape the world, and sometimes we'll disagree on what's best for the community. That's kind of where you would take that contempt token. That tension is part of the fun and part of the what makes the story kind of feel alive. Um, Quiet Year's whole thing is focusing on how societies kind of, or societies and communities kind of grow with each other. And a lot of times there's struggles and complications. It's not everyone agreeing to everything all the time. That's just not how societies work. Since we'll be using this as a foundation for our long-term campaign, which I do want this campaign to be a long-term campaign if we could try. I'd like each of us to think about how the seeds we plant here could grow later on. Maybe a location we sketch becomes a major setting, or a small detail hinted at now becomes a big part of the story later. The Quiet Year gives us a chance to explore possibilities, foreshadow future conflicts, and build a history that our next campaign can grow out of. When the winter comes and the quote Frost Shepherd will arrive, we don't know when, we don't know what they mean, only that their arrival ends the story instantly. The ending is always unfinished, like a snapshot of a community frozen time, which makes it the perfect launch point for what comes next. And of course, we'll be using Roll20 to draw this map, and I'll try to keep screenshots of them just in case we need to ever share those. Any questions from the four of you about our setting or a Quiet Year that you'd like me to elaborate on before we jump into it?
I got a question or two, if that's okay with you.
No, we're gonna go ahead and just jump in. No, please, Will. What's your question?
So we have been introduced to a couple of factions before the big shift in environment. We have
Correct.
the Empire and the Rebellion. The Empire, is that a racial empire? Is that just like a confederation of planets where there's multiple people, or multiple peoples, multiple races that like worked quote unquote together before the rebellion obviously picked up?
Yeah, it's not just a specific race. Think more Star Wars again, kind of in that line.
Okay.
Um,
Cool, cool, cool. My other question is the rebellion was actively happening when the unknown entity attacked. So it's been 25 years since quote unquote the fall of the empire and the rebellion, but would it be reasonable to assume there's still tensions there?
oh, absolutely. Going
Okay.
into this ship that crashed has regular citizens, just everyday people, ship maintenance workers. I'm gonna say probably like the pilots were all killed, considering the crash. Um, and then loyalists for the Empire and freedom fighters for the rebels. When I originally wrote that intro, I did have a whole thing about how like in the first few weeks the rebels wouldn't share fire with the loyalists and back and forth, that kind of thing. So the tension is definitely still there starting out. Um, but also kind of keep in mind like this is now a group of people trying to survive on this world that they know nothing about.
Okay. I guess my other question is how much of a desert world is this? So I know that some aspects will be creating environments on the planet. Obviously, probably not an ocean, but vegetation, small oases of water are those things that we could
Yes.
expect to see. Okay.
Yes. I again, another Star Wars reference. I had said Tatooine. It's not a full desert planet. Kind of think Mars, but with other aspects. So maybe there is a forest somewhere. Maybe there is a decent sized sea. Maybe there's a frost cap somewhere. I mainly say that because Jake had made a reference to a movie that I had not seen before, and after looking into it, now I want to have a train on
Yeah, Snowpiercer. How good is that fucking movie?
Um,
Sorry.
and also keep in mind that this map that we're making is kind of just the beginning settlements of the people crashing on this world. We have a whole world. Our starting point of the campaign might not be even on this map that we're working on, but this is kind of laying the foundation of the type of people that these people are going to become, basically. Maybe this is the map. Maybe we make the capital of the world literally right here. Maybe not. That's to be determined. Any further questions?
Um, I have some questions.
Please, yeah.
So it's been 25 years since we crashed on the planet.
At the start of the campaign, it will
Uh huh.
be that
Okay.
what we're doing right now is the first week of crashing into the planet and the
Okay.
first year. But that narrative is
So it's not been 25
correct.
years. We are okay.
Correct.
Good
So we're starting at the
clarification.
crash.
We're
The
starting
first week
at
of
the
the crash.
crash.
Okay.
That narration or narrative is going to appear after every or at the start of every session that we do a quiet year as kind of a this is what happened throughout this year as we
Gotcha.
remember and celebrate that anniversary of 25 years.
How long did the Exodus take?
It's a good question. I think just a few weeks. I think people were scrambling and things were happening so fast and so quickly that they got on the ship and left as quickly as they could.
And then the unknown entity, it just made things stop working, or what was it was destroying planets? You said ships were going missing. Do we really what I'm trying to get at, what was the main thing that scared the shit out of everybody, and why were we
I
all looking
think
to go?
the people on this ship do not
Hmm.
know.
Okay.
I guess to kind of elaborate for you, yeah, like ships would randomly get put into like light speed and then just disappear. Um, whole world's power grids would just shut off and send them into darkness. So it's a lot of just different things that happen technologically to different planets and systems and ships and all of that. I will say there might be a tension against technology as well, with the fear
Um,
that was provided.
Did the entity move in like a linear path? Was it like we could track its movements based on how things were going poorly? We went the opposite direction, or was it just scattershot? Things were happening all around
Things were
everywhere?
happening everywhere in the entire Empire's domain.
Was everybody already on the ship, or did people get on the ship to leave? Like, did the ship have a purpose? Like, was it a military ship? Was it,
I
you
think
know?
I had originally. I'm bummed I erased that part. I think it was originally a cargo ship,
Okay.
so not intended to be a transportation ship, but was
We're
at
just
a
the lucky one that made it out.
exactly.
And then how many people were on the ship?
People, I'm gonna say a couple thousand,
Okay.
but now a couple hundred
That survived.
from the that survived.
Okay.
Also, kind of trying to keep in mind realistically, because I want there to be cities that we can visit in 25 years, and thinking realistically how populated they would be and how quickly they could be built. So maybe it's more than a couple hundred, give or take.
I was going to say, is there a chance that we are one group of survivors and we don't know if there's more groups out there on
There
the
is a
planet?
chance, and there may be cards that could prompt such things to be true.
My suggestion was it could be a generational ship that we were on, so it has hundreds of thousands of people, and then maybe most of them die, or the pods don't work after the crash or something, and there's only a couple
Yeah.
thousand people left after the
Or
crash.
what's another word? What's a I had used this in the last time we played A Quiet Year, but like a a thing that like babies grow in pod. There's a word for that.
And from
Growth
oh,
pods?
fuck, it starts with an I. Incubation.
Incubation pods, yeah. Perhaps those are also on the ship, accelerating growth in some individuals as well. They're depending. It doesn't matter if we play Daggerheart or D&D. There's a bunch of different races that you'll be able to play, of course, like in D&D and Daggerheart. Think of them less as like, oh, elves, they're like the magical foresty people, and more think of them as all aliens. They're all Spock or what have you. They're all just different aliens in the eyes of a human, and same with humans in the eyes of an elves and all of that.
Last question for you, which I'm sure that we get into this as we start playing the game. Is there radiation coming from the ship, or do we know if there is a reactor that is at risk of going critical? Like, do we want to stick around the ship, or is the first instinct of anybody who knows about space travel to be like, we need to get the fuck out of Dodge?
I think that should be left to the decision in the game. Maybe a discussion started. So I do have the PDF for A Quiet Year open. So if you ever need me to like go to a rule so you can read it in your own brain, I can do that for you. Discussions, they are done a certain way, so we can talk about that once we get to someone that wants to do a discussion. Could I have everyone roll a d20 and let me know what you get?
Man, fucking dice shit.
5.
I rolled a fucking 1.
13.
Hell yeah, this is gonna be great, guys.
Off to a great start, Will.
I rolled something, but where do I see the roll?
You rolled a 1,
Should do it
Jake.
in roll 20.
Ah,
Roll the 1 too.
fuck.
Jake or Will, which one wants to go before the other?
Do you want to roll again, Jake?
Oh yeah, I'll take a mulligan.
Well, no, it's just between the two of us.
Oh yeah, there you go. I rolled.
That's
Where
perfect.
are these rolls, by the way? I can't.
I rolled a
see.
5.
In the chat of rolls. Jake, you rolled a 17. Okay, so go Sequoia, Tina, Jake, Will. So to start with, we'll go through the 4 of you, and each of you will draw a kind of topographical, is that the right word?
Feature.
Feature on the map. So again, this isn't just a desert world. Maybe there's an oasis. Maybe there's some water somewhere. Just be creative with it. Just don't make the whole world an ocean, please. Thank you. But we'll go
Lots of ducks.
through the group. Oh boy, we'll go through the group twice. Sequoia, go ahead and draw 1 feature on the map.
Just an aside while she's doing that, maybe this will help you. in Western style cities, small frontier towns would have around 10,000 people to build it. Regional centers would be 50,000. And then really large frontier cities would roughly scale about 100,000 people.
Well, it's the future with a little bit of extra technology.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
there's
you'd
there's
have to have.
extra
Yeah,
tech and materials and stuff.
we probably have robots, or are they working
Robots.
still?
That's a good question. And
Are the
does the
robots going to
community
draw the entity to us?
Ooh.
does the community trust in the robots as well?
Ooh, there's definitely some anti-technology priests and stuff like that somewhere.
Probably more than
Oh,
the
yeah.
sum.
You know what it's there's gonna be a Son of Adams.
I kind of like that. That's a good name.
ATOMS.
We got fucking goldfish
Didn't
snacks.
mean to make that look exactly like a
Snack
gold.
that smile.
Hell yeah!
It totally does that.
Do you want to go
Yeah,
ahead and tell
over-
us what you're drawing up here? Sequoia?
Yeah, in the distance, I'm assuming this is. I'm kind of putting this in the corner because it's far away from the ship. So, like, you could see it with the naked eye, but it'd be, like, really far away from the ship. Is kind of this cluster of giant red boulders.
I like it. And one looks like a goldfish.
And one of them looks like a goldfish with chicken pox.
I like it. Okay,
It's
how
awesome.
you said giant red boulders. How tall from the base to the top would you say?
Maybe 100 feet. They're big rocks.
Big boulders. Okay.
They're pretty big rocks.
Hell yeah.
So there's like a field of big rocks.
While she's finishing that up, Tina, go ahead and add something to the map here. Seen a bunch of circles.
So kind of near the crash of the ship, the people who are, I guess, at the tippy top before, everything went to disaster would have seen elliptical circles on the ground. Just circles. Nothing about them seem alien. Just little circles all over this specific area and only this area. Some of the people could be said as religious or any sort of like a entity beyond them that made this circle or pattern for religious and or scientific purposes.
I'm sure that there are some very religious folk that probably have a feeling that that's what drew their ship to this planet. They're like, that's weird. That brought our ship here. Jake, go ahead and add something.
And we're just basically doing geological stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, geological.
All right, so I think this is like a salt flat area with like a dead sea.
Ooh, okay.
So I think this is like a mix of salt flats and then like a bunch of dead seas scattered around
Hell
it.
yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Will, go ahead and add a feature.
Yeah, I think within like a day's walk or so of the ship, there's going to be a corpse of what are known as dragon's blood trees, which are a real feature on planet Earth. But they are a tree that in desert environments absorb water from the atmosphere and soak it down into the ground that support other life. So there might be a reservoir under these trees. And when you cut their bark, they bleed red. And it's used for medicinal purposes. But there's not a lot of them, and they grow really slowly. So there might be water under the ground here, but there's not a lot of it. And if you cut down the trees or abuse them, they're going to be gone. I'm going to give them little green tops.
Those are cool looking.
Yeah,
I don't like the red.
Yeah,
Sap.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, and I was looking for alien trees, and I was like, this is a tree in a desert that also just fucking bleeds. Like, I don't know.
No.
But no, they will suck water out of the atmosphere and put it into the ground so there are reservoirs or other plants can subsist around them. And they're also an endangered species. Because people exist.
It's cool. I mean, not the endangered
Yeah,
species.
I got what you meant.
Sequoia, go ahead and add a feature for us.
Hmm.
I guess real quick, Will, how many trees would you say are there?
I would say there is probably 4 small groups of them, so maybe 40 to 100 in like
Okay.
those 4 small forests.
Cool. Okay.
But they're also like 10 to 50 feet apart. So whenever I say like a corpse, it's not like a really thick forest. It's just you can see them on the horizon. But
Yeah.
they are very limited and they collect water slowly.
Gotcha.
So if you empty the reservoir, it's gone. It's not going to refill quickly.
Right. Sequoia, go for it.
Okay, I think that this ship crashed kind of near to a pretty big canyon.
Fuck.
So
Let's do a canyon next.
we're gonna go. This is a canyon. Imagine this looks like a canyon, and it does.
I'm imagining.
Okay, canyon.
Looks like canyons to me.
Looks like canyons to me.
I don't know what you're talking about. Looks exactly like a canyon. The scale is correct with the crash. So it's not, Earth Grand Canyon size, but it's a pretty steep drop off. There's
And is that
no
one
water
canyon or
to
is that
be
multiple?
seen. This is like one really deep canyon. So those are the
Gotcha.
sides into like one, like this is the bottom of the canyon. No water to be seen in this canyon. The dry canyon.
Nice. Tina, you're up.
Right by the salt fields, there is a crater of what they assume is water, but nobody quite. The water doesn't quite do water what it's supposed to do. It's a little bit slimy in texture.
So it's kind of oily, right?
It's kind of oily. It smells like water. It tastes like water to the brave
Oh.
souls that are able to taste it.
So who's tasting
But
this?
it's quite oily, thick.
Sulfuric, maybe?
Not sulfuric. It smells just like water, but people aren't sure if they should trust said water.
It's Mickey Mouse.
I
Copyright.
was trying not to do that, but it turned into one, so there.
Oh my god, it does actually kind of look like Mickey Mouse.
I'm trying not to, but the circles kind of overlap, and it's circles.
Mickey Mouse is just a series of circles. Let's just
It
agree to
really
that.
is. But the water, this is like water. The plants drink it like water, but there's no plants that grow around this area. It's just thick water in a little crater, it looks like.
Jake, go for it.
Ooh, I get another one. I want to make this place a little more hostile. I'm gonna say there is a crazy mountain range. I want to say the Devil's Teeth is the name, but I feel like it's a little
No, I love it.
derivative,
That's
maybe.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
And it.
Yeah, it's fucking derivative. Everyone's got teeth. Are the mountains like impassable or like there are pathways between it and like the salt flats or the water? Or do you have to
I
walk around?
want to say that there are people who have found ways through,
Okay.
and maybe that's like information they really keep guarded. So they either, I don't know, like part of some other faction has access through or not. But I'm thinking this is where your train goes, Mel.
A question for you. Are these old mountains like Appalachia, or are these new mountains like Rocky Mountains? So what I mean is like,
Yeah, they look like. Have you ever seen like the animation of when Pangea formed and like two giant land masses smashed each other? And it's like better question. Have you ever read Wheel of Time and know what the spine of the world is?
it's been a really long time, but I know vaguely. what you're
It's
talking about.
you have to be you have to be like a Nepalese Sherpa to get over these. Like there are people who could easily pass them, but because they've been probably doing nothing but that for the past 25 years. But it is really difficult for like the normal person just to pass through without like some type of guide or Sherpa. And then potentially I don't know, I think I might be adding too much now, but potentially there's some type of like railroad baron that has like a railroad system going through it, or I don't know.
But it's that kind of area where
Yeah.
like, okay.
You're taking your life into your own hands if you want to scale that by yourself. Or there's like big like let's say Donner Party-esque that travel through in big groups.
So there's Vindigos. I see.
Will.
Yeah, I did one good thing. I gave us some water trees. Now I'm gonna do one real bad thing. Somewhat near the crash site, I think sort of at the edge of this canyon that Sequoia so graciously gave us, there is another sort of mountain range. I did not choose those colors quite right. We're just gonna go with this. And then there's a set of 2, maybe 3. Let's do 3 just for the fun of it. Volcanoes
Oh shit.
that are smoking.
Oh.
They're not actively erupting,
So calderas.
Uh-oh.
but they're calderas that are smoking at the moment. So they're not actively erupting, but maybe there are some quakiness. Maybe there's
I like the
some
clouds. Nice.
lava flows.
I'm just gonna write down here. Frost Shepherd is volcanoes.
Yeah, fuck it. I killed this. I love it. They're also somewhat near our like kind of only source of what we think is good water at the moment. So if they erupt, there's a chance they could knock out our only water
Did
source.
this just turn into a hydro cowboy punk game? Because I'm fucking down for it.
It started as a hydro cowboy punk. What the fuck do you mean?
Let's go, steam engines.
How Tina's eldritch water it was described exactly how Lovecraft would explain water. It's like water. It tastes like water. It smells like water. For all intents and purposes, it's water, but it's just a little weird.
Can you boil it? And does it steam, Tina?
No, the water does not boil.
leave that for a project.
Okay,
Leave
sorry,
that for
sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
no!
Sorry.
Leave that for a
The
project.
water does not boil now.
Let's move to starting resources. So let's talk about what resources we would find to be important to this community. Some examples that A Quiet Year provides is clean drinking water, a source of energy, protection from predators, adequate shelter, and food. Of course, we don't have to do that. We could also go a little bit abstract with it, such as like unity and stuff like that. So Sequoia, name one resource.
Leadership.
I am going to put that under unity.
Okay.
In order to have leadership, you have to have some sort of.
Do you?
Fair point. Tina, name a resource.
You said we had growth pods, right?
Kind of something of the sort.
The next generation.
People.
Oh, I got so much I want to add. Why do I love this game so much?
This is an amazing game, even if it's not for D&D or
It's a lot of
campaign.
fun.
It's so much fun.
Such a fun game.
Tina, would you think that the next generation could be more described aptly as like people or labor?
Yeah, labor.
I'm gonna do labor. I like labor. That's a good one.
I don't want it to sound too close to like child slavery. That's why I was like kind of
it's
on edge about labor because it could go so bad so fast.
I'm gonna do people.
Yeah.
People are
Yeah,
resources.
people.
I think people's better because, like, if we lose a bunch of people due to an exploration, we lose that resource. And I think that if we're the last hope of civilized isn't the right word, but like knowing that you're a person. What's that?
Humanity, but not just humans.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be like so specific that it goes towards that specific like situation. So I said
Yeah,
the future
absolutely.
like children.
My understanding is that the resource should be something that can be applied to multiple situations. So,
Yeah.
like, if we said the next generation, that only really works towards, like, oh, that's our future. But if we say people, people can be applied to a bunch of different things as a resource. Because your resource can either be scarce or it can be abundant. And I think that's what we're
Correct.
setting up right now.
Yeah.
Jake, give me a resource.
How many times are we doing this resource thing?
I was only gonna do it once. What are we thinking? Should I do it twice?
I think we should all choose one abundance and one scarcity.
All right. Let's move back really quick. Sequoia, unity. Do you think unity is currently in abundance or scarce?
You know what? I'm going to be optimistic for us. I'm going to say that it's in abundance.
We just crashed. We shouldn't have survived. We did survive. People are like, holy shit, this is an act of whatever higher power. Let's work together.
Yeah. Exactly.
Tina, people. We have abundance or scarce on people?
I was thinking of abundance, but scarcity could also be kind of more fun. So
I mean, it
whichever's
might
more
switch
fun.
to it might switch to scarcity. So
Yeah, so I'll do abundance for now.
yeah. So we're gonna do one abundance and one scarcity. So I guess start with your abundance, Jake.
So this planet, was it known?
No,
It was not a known planet.
correct. Unknown planet.
Shit. Let's go with that. Underneath the volcanoes, I say stretching out kind of in random directions near the volcano, there is what the locals call ley line, but what they actually are geothermal springs that run underground.
So would you say maybe like energy or potential for energy?
Yeah, potential from energy coming from these active volcanoes. And I mean, I think they could be exactly what we're thinking about, like underground aquifers that are all steamed up, so there's a ton of steam, or there's lava underneath there that can somehow be, utilized for power in some way. I'm trying to give us the punk part of the cowboy punk, a way to run.
We also, our ship probably does have like some kind of space age nuclear reactor that runs it. So we might also
good
have
point.
energy with us, depending on if we can salvage it. So I think that mine, I'm also going to go a little bit abstract. I'm going to say superstition / spirituality.
That's your abundance.
Because we've just escaped from the great unknown to an unknown planet that looks to be our salvation. I think there's just a lot of superstition, whether that's good or bad. Superstition about tech being bad, superstition about the holes maybe being good, feeling like this is where we're going to rebuild ourselves. It's just very high. I'm not necessarily trusting logic or what's in front of you.
Okay.
Ghost stories abound.
Perfect. Sequoia, give me a scarcity.
A scarcity, I think, is knowledge of the land, understanding of where we are. I don't know if there's a category that you want to put that in.
So let's see what can we do. I want to make sure that whatever we're putting in as a resource isn't something. Keep in mind that these resources are something that could go abundance or scarcity, where knowledge of our land could be scarce and then permanently become abundant, if that makes sense.
Do you want it to be something that's locked in or fluctuates?
Just something that can both go up and down. So knowledge is something that doesn't really go down unless you kill a lot of people.
Right.
So-
Okay, that makes sense. How about a scarcity is food? We don't have any crops cultivated.
I have a thought. What if our ship is so it looks like almost like a one of those space 18-wheelers where it has like the truck trailer. What if we are one of multiple attachments on the same ship and our ship broke off and we did not have the food supplies with us?
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe there is another container with 100 years worth of food somewhere on the planet, but we don't have access to it right now. And we don't know if it even crash landed and exploded or if it's usable still.
Exactly.
I think even if we have some seeds, it's going to take a while for them to be cultivated and become usable as food.
Tina, give me a scarcity, please.
Materials to build our infrastructures with.
Perfect. Jake, give me a scarcity.
I mean, I guess this one might be obvious, but water as well.
We said RimWorld on a hard mode.
Pretty much.
Literally.
Yep. Don't worry, we've got people and unity and superstitions, but we don't have food or water or building materials.
Who needs
Don't worry,
those
I'm gonna make
things?
this even better. Our last scarcity is gonna be mobility.
I mean, it depends on how you really look at it, though, right? Because there's a lot of water in people.
This is true
Jesus.
cannibalism. We're
You know?
doing a Donner Party.
Also,
And we have a lot of people.
also that crash ship has. I'm sure that crash ship is ginormous and has a lot of pieces that could be taken off of it to build cities and.
Oh yeah.
But we don't have it right now, and we also don't know if it's gonna explode or if it's irradiated. So we're not even
Oh,
able to-
forget 100%.
like if you
Was a
shot a
cool,
nuclear submarine at a mountain.
Bong,
Oh my
bong.
God.
Jesus Christ.
Any more questions about A Quiet Year before we jump into doing our first card and turn here?
For the cards, are you going to be drawing for us, or is there a like a card drawing function in Roll20 that you want to use? I feel like you can put a deck in Roll20, but I don't know how much you can control it.
No, I'm just going to draw. I have the deck in front of me, and then if you look at the screen share that I have right now, I'll just highlight which one you have, and you can read it out. And again, the discoveries, I want to just make it clear, like, we're not trying to solve all of the issues with, like, discoveries or what's on the cards and whatnot, but also, like, not trying to kill all the people, find that happy balance. But don't do, like, a discovery, oh, I found a plot of a villager settlement that has all of the carrots and potatoes and beetroots that we need.
I just got a bucket and made an infinite water source. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing.
Easy.
Okay. You ready, Sequoia?
Mhm.
I guess with this card, I should say as well, these cards should prompt you to do something on the map as well. Try not to use... For example, okay, so Sequoia, you got the Queen of Spring. If you wouldn't mind reading that out for us.
Okay, so I get to choose from either what's the most beautiful thing in this area or what's the most hideous thing in this area.
And this is where I'm saying, like, don't just be like, oh, those volcanoes are hideous. Try to add something for our map here.
Yeah, okay. The most hideous thing in the area is just off the side of the canyon here, into the canyon a little bit, is a pile of undetermined bones that seems to be growing larger as time passes. So new bones are showing up here in this pile, but we don't know what kind of bones they are or where they're coming from. And they're kind of deep into, like, a little bit into the canyon.
That is hideous.
I do not like that.
I think it's kind of beautiful.
It looks kind of like worms and is freaking me out.
I'm glad that we're super high on superstition, guys.
Oh no.
And the next step of Sequoia's turn would be to adjust the dice. There currently aren't any dice. Dice being the project turns. Now take an action, Sequoia. Either discover something new, hold a discussion, which again we will go over the discussion rules if you want to do that, or start a project.
Okay. I'd like to hold a discussion.
All right, with holding a discussion, you can choose to open with a question or a declaration. Starting with you and going through our turn order, everyone gets to weigh in once, sharing a single argument comprised of 1 to 2 sentences. If you open with a question, Sequoia, you get to weigh in last with a statement. If you open with a declaration, that is it. A discussion never results in a decision or some summation process. Everyone weighs in and then it's over. This is how conversation works in communities. They're untidy and inconclusive affairs. And when you guys do a discussion, think of it as members of the community who you are representing from the community. Are you a rebel? Are you a loyalist? Are you just an everyday citizen? Are you a business owner that got screwed over? Are you a worker of the ship? Just anything like that. Just kind of keep that in mind when you represent someone in this community.
Before we make our discussion, are we going to announce I'm speaking on behalf of the loyalists to the Empire and then give our piece, or are we just going to give our piece role playing wise and everybody gets to kind of figure it out?
You can, or just say someone from the loyalists side steps forward, or
Okay.
anything like that. But yeah, if you want to indicate exactly where you're from, I am fine with that. So Sequoia, go ahead and start your discussion.
Okay. I will be representing a group of civilian elders,
Do they have a group name?
bobbies.
I would say they don't have to. They could just be the old folk of the civilians of this community.
The bobbies, who are the old folk, are going to bring to kind of what I assume is a relatively regular discussion between all of the survivors because we have an abundance of. And they're going to say, we believe that we should search this area for other survivors. Which direction should we send a party of expeditioners out?
We should send them out to the little echoes of circles around our ship. Maybe beyond the mountains, that direction. It's coming from the loyalists.
And keep in mind, if someone's like, "Oh, I spoke for loyalists," you can also speak for loyalists. Maybe there's tension between loyalists as well. I mean, not everyone's going to get along and have the same ideas.
No, Fallout told me all factions have one personality. Out of curiosity, Mel, about how far can our survivors see on week 1? Like, what is visible distance to us? Because I assume that we've not explored all that much. Because it's 1 week since the crash.
Yeah, nothing has been explored. That would be more of a project thing. So when we were saying earlier, like we've tested animals on that water, that hasn't happened yet. I would say you can't really see me highlighting the surrounding area of the ship. We could see those, the circles, the trees, the volcanoes, the canyons, and the far distance we could see boulders, and then we see a mountain range. When we were crashing, maybe some folks saw the salt flats and the viscous pool, but it probably wasn't everyone, and we can't see that from the site itself.
I'm gonna say that the loyalists, the Empire, doesn't care about looking for survivors, and they want to start worrying about the ship, seeing what they can either fix, figure out what's going on with the ship.
A concerned individual from the Freedom Fighters is going to step forward, and kind of directly contrasting to the first loyalist opinion about agreeing to go explore. We can't explore. You always overreach. You try to do things without the proper resources. We're all going to starve here. We need to get food and water first before anybody goes looking for anything beyond what's right around us.
And then Sequoia, you get to end with a statement
from the old people, right?
From the old folk.
From the old folks.
Sorry, the bobbies.
Okay. Very well. But if there are survivors and we get to them too late, their death is on your conscience.
Shit. All right.
And
Teen-
just to clarify, sorry, each
Yeah.
time we have a discussion, we're not the same people. We can be anybody we want to. We're not
Exactly.
representing the same factions of-
I'm
Yeah,
not
so-
the Bobbies forever. Yeah.
The next time someone holds a discussion, Will, you could be the Bobbies if you wanted to.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna be the bodies.
So just to kind of recap what that discussion was, the elders of the civilians stepped forward and said we should search for survivors. What direction? Some of the loyalists said southwest. I'm using southwest. Cardinal direction. Some of the
Does
loyalists
our
said
world
southwest.
have a magnetic core? Question.
Probably. More loyalists said they don't care about survivors. Some other loyalists said they didn't care about survivors. And then some freedom fighters or rebels said we need to focus inward and kind of, figure our shit out before we go looking. Are you ready, Tita?
Yes.
You got the 7 of Spring. Where does everyone sleep? Who is unhappy with this arrangement and why? Or, I don't know why I'm reading this for you. I was going to have you guys read it, but I'm doing it now. Or,
Sounds
what natural predators roam this area? Are you safe?
I'm gonna go with what natural predators roam this area. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Fuck
Ah.
yeah.
What are they?
Mhm.
And
As the-
also, I'm so sorry to interject. This is an alien world, but if you just want to use wolf-like or lion-like, I don't need you to describe the most wild alien animal you've ever seen.
It's me. Did
because
you
I
really
know I'm not
expect
going to.
not wild animals?
I mean, they're obviously
Oh,
ducks,
it's
right?
a duck. It's a fucking duck.
Obviously. The predators that roam this area that nibbles on the trees are fowl-like birds. Except they're larger on 4 legs. Kind of like the
Ugh.
shape of a giraffe, but instead
Fucking
of the
terrifying.
face of a giraffe, is the bill of a duck, or what the citizens determine duck-like, because it doesn't quite look like a duck. It has no eyes.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my
And it
god.
I love
seems
this thing. I
to-
want to ride one.
It seems very passive, docile until you get within 10 feet of it. Then
my
it
God.
turns its very ugly face, well, lack of face. It turns its bill to you and charges at whoever is 10 feet away from their person body, their duck-like body. I'm gonna have to draw a duck. Oh my god.
What are they called?
Not just a duck giraffe. And can we please get the name of what these duck giraffes have been dubbed?
They are dubbed the Quackin.
Quack. Now,
Do they inhabit the tree area where our only real source of water might be?
Yes, that's where
Yep.
they live. That's where they raise their young in the trees themselves.
Can they fly?
That's where their nests reside.
yeah,
Nope. They're
Alright, I've got-
giant and have 4 legs. I don't think they can fly.
they might.
Oh, they
I've got
can't
3
fly.
questions. Okay, I got 2 questions for you, Tina. Maybe one if I don't remember what my other question was. So they can't see. How do they know that something's within 10 feet?
They can sense the tremors of your walking through their feet.
So they got some tough kind of earthbending.
Yeah, they're like
vision there.
earthbenders, but not really.
Okay,
Some might describe that as tremor sense.
tremor sounds. What does their attacking look like? What's aggressively scary about them?
Aggressively, they look really docile. They look friendly almost like you can ride on them without them even noticing you. But when they charge with their whole body. It tramples you. It tramples anything near the trees if there is babies in the trees.
I feel
Okay.
like this thing would also just do psychic damage just like how horrifying it
I
looks.
mean, no, they
Oh,
look
okay.
they're fluffy. They look like
No, when
a
it's looking
stuffed
at you,
bear.
quacking with no eyes and charging.
I mean, they don't have eyes, but it's kind of like it's like, you know how
Nope.
cats
Mm-mm.
can
It's-
be born without eyes because of a mutation? It looks like
yeah.
that.
But a cat is small, cuddly, and furry. This thing is either feathered or hairless, or like
It's
featherless.
feathered.
Okay, a giant feathered creature with a giant wide duck bill. I assume honking at you with no eyes, and its honks are gonna be loud as fuck and
Yeah.
super deep to a body size. If any of the bobbies see this, they're just gonna die of a seizure. Like,
So some more questions. How big is the herd at these trees?
There's
How many
only
would you say?
they are like loners. So so assuming there's only like 2 sets of parents, but then there's multiple kids on top of the trees. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
assuming what you know about creatures like this, there are others somewhere near more trees.
but
Because
these are the
it's-
only trees we know of.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And then would you say bigger than elephant size?
Way bigger. About the size of a giraffe.
Okay. That's not too scary. I think I'd be fine until its head turned, and then I would not be fine. I think I would take psychic damage as well. I'm kind of leaning toward they might have psychic powers.
They don't have any sort of psychic powers. They're not.
They have tremor sense. They have at least some kind of sensory ability.
They
do
can
have some
sense you
kind.
through their more or less their feet. They can sense you if you're like running or walking towards them. They don't like things
right above
being near
Quackers,
their
you see
babies.
where right above Quackers, you see where it says superstition, spirituality, abundant? Those things are fucking psychic monsters. I don't care what they actually are. Community thinks they're psychic monsters.
There might be some worry across the community, maybe. Maybe when they were crashing or having in this first week adjusted, maybe they saw the trees and saw some more trees that were more yellow, and they're like, oh, that's interesting, and then they started moving, and they're like, oh, let's never go over there.
Do I need
but
to
that-
draw
I mean,
another
that's-
one? Because I don't
that's
really
special.
want to draw another one.
No, just one is fine. No, we didn't need two, Mel.
Oh no!
I wanted to.
Okay, can you at least make it kind of near? Yeah, there we go. I'm
like
sorry.
that.
What was
That's
the
cool as
last
fuck.
3 parts?
I hate that.
Are you safe? Let's start there. Are you safe?
They are very docile, except if you get near their babies.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Don't go near the babies. So yes,
So-
generally safe.
I
We'll,
tried to debuff the water trees by saying they're really slow, and Tina just said, no, there's giant fucking terrifying ducks guarding them.
Just the babies. They don't care about the trees, but like if you get near the babies, they will.
You said the babies
charge
are in the trees!
you. Yeah. These trees are protected by God, by these quackens, so.
So we would address dice next. No projects yet. So take an action, Tina. Either discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Can we discover that the quackens are peaceful except when they are raising young?
I think that would take a project,
Okay. A discussion.
but not a long project if you wanted. I think that would be a really quick project.
I
So,
feel
a
like
project
that would
might
be really quick.
we send some survivors out that might be good with animals to go see if they can interact with them without dying.
I think, yeah, how long did you said like a day travel, didn't you, Will?
Yeah, about a day's travel.
Okay. Well, I mean, turns work and weeks, so maybe we do, if you want, Tina, do a week project of someone to go investigate these quackens, and I mean, as soon as they get within 10 feet, do you want to do that project, Tina?
I would love to do that project.
Okay. Once we complete that project, which will be on Jake's next turn, just go through and just describe that kind of scene, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Cool. So maybe draw a stick figure as well, heading out that way.
These are really crude drawings. I am so sorry.
No, you're good. That's what we want. That's what we want. couple of naked people run into the giraffes. Jake, you ready?
Yep.
Ooh, that's kind of a fun one. You got the Nine of Spring. Do you want to read it?
A charismatic young girl convinces many to help her with an elaborate scheme. What is it? Who joins her? Endeavors. Start a project to reflect. Or, oh shit, a charismatic young girl tries to tempt many into sinful or dangerous activity. Why does she do this? How does the community respond? I think somebody tries to lead a bunch of people to domesticate the Quackins.
Amazing.
So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that's a sinful or dangerous activity, correct?
I don't know. I think maybe.
Maybe it is an elaborate scheme.
Yeah, I think it's an elaborate scheme. I think. Listen. There's little to anything that helps anybody on this planet we landed on. We see these terrifying yet amazing animals that live near one of the only other resources we have. We're gonna have to do something. Someone's gonna have to do something about it, right? So I think
So this gives us the opportunity to get maybe a named character that either will become, legend to our future campaign or maybe a reoccurring character. So who is this charismatic girl?
Abigail Rose. Abigail Abby
Cool name.
Rose.
Oh, even cooler. And does she I guess this one does say who joins her endeavors. Does she reflect any specific factions? Again, it doesn't need to be any of the ones we already have. You can create a new one. Or is it anyone specific that joins her, or just
I'm gonna say there had to be some type of. Well, what did we agree on the ship was? Is it a cargo ship? Was it a?
It is a cargo ship, but
Okay.
think of a variety of different jobs where people did go on here to even just escape.
I'm gonna say she convinced regular civilians who are on there. They're not necessarily attached to any faction, but they're maybe more like just some of the working class on the ship. Maybe they were farmers or into husbandry of some type. It's our cowboys. There are cowboys.
They're cowboys. Okay. I guess when we resolve, so this is going to start a project. When we resolve this project, actually, we'll get to that when we resolve it. How long do you think this investigation is going to take?
I'd say it by weeks, right?
I'm sorry, domestication, right?
Domestication, yeah. I'm going to say it's going to take. What are my choices? Short.
Each turn is 1 week. So like after we start this project, Tina's project's going to finish and her turn just happened.
I'm going to say this is going to take a while. 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I think I'm fine with 3 to 4.
Okay, yeah, let's go 3 to 4.
I think let's hear back from Tina's group. So like maybe Tina's group came back and discovered maybe as long as we don't do X, Y, or Z, they're fine, and that can make it take 3 weeks because we know what the trigger is.
Oh, I like that.
Tina, your project of Quacken's investigation ends. Can you describe the scene of kind of what happens?
Could I just take Abby and be like she's the one that discovered
Yeah.
She discovered that through different experiments she's conducted with and without the offspring of the Quackens, she discovered that they are actually quite friendly to everybody. None of the other animals seems to bother them. They only turn aggressive and cause havoc whenever they're young. They're raising young or they're protecting or laying youngs. They use their beaks and their large size as a form of defense against any sort of things getting near them. And it turns out they feed their young with the sap of the trees.
So now these large eyeless ducks drink blood from trees and probably have red stained beaks.
They
do
do.
damage.
They have red stained beaks.
Well, how
but
much
as
of a
they-
badass is Abigail Rose? Holy shit!
Yeah, she's amazing. She also found that the younglings are really friendly and they want to discover new things. It's the parents that are more or less guarding them like They're precious.
All right, so I have here Abby discovered through different experiments the Quackens are friendly to everything when not near their bibis. Beaks in large size used as defense. Young is fed with sap from trees. Younglings friendly and curious, and the adults are protective. I'm gonna go ahead and need you, Tina, to just add a little bit of red to all of those Quackens. I will say you did create the most terrifying. It wasn't too bad with the no eyes, like whatever. But now when they turn around, not only do they not have eyes, but their beaks are covered in blood.
You're welcome. There's some horror to your sci-fi western.
Oh, it's gonna get worse on my turn.
So that was us adjusting the dice. Actually, with that, Jake, yours is down to 2 weeks now.
Sweet.
Now, Jake, you do get to take an action still.
Okay.
So discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Start another project.
Hell yeah. What's this one going to be?
This one is going to be a group of people mapping the Devil's Spine, or attempting to.
And just to clarify, the Quacken domestication, that was a project that was started because of the card Jake drew. And then
Correct.
Jake gets to start a... Okay, so if we draw a
Yeah.
project card, we can still start another project up.
Absolutely. Yep.
Love that.
I'm going to say that's going to take 4 weeks, more than that,
A month.
honestly. Yeah.
I think I actually might bump you up there, yeah, because if are they doing the entire length that we could see here on the map?
I think they're gonna they're trying to figure out, is there an easy way through it? If not, if they can't find an easy way through it, who knows? It could take. I don't even think they're gonna map the whole thing, right? They just know that maybe it's just one small section they're looking at.
I think we need a conflict dice. I think we need some conflict dice.
Like contempt?
Contempt. I think we need contempt dice.
You want to take a contempt for that project?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
From the Freedom Explorers are in contempt of that project because it's too far away from the ship and not immediately beneficial.
Can I make a faction that's doing this project?
You absolutely can, yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be potential robber baron, some entrepreneur that was on the ship, or maybe owned the ship that they were on, and is trying to potentially start a railroad through this fire, or the Devil's Spine.
Does this faction have a name?
Blackthorn and Kessler.
What would be a good, just quick word or two descriptive of this faction? Just entrepreneurs or
space transport barons?
Yeah. That's a good. I like that, space transport baron. Yeah, just yeah.
Maybe they own the ship and they're trying to get out
Yep.
of this, owning something new.
Yeah, and they know they're
BARON?
Yeah. And they know they're stuck on this new world, and a society is going to be built, and they want to corner. They're pieces of shit super capitalists. That's who they are. They're bad guys. They're baddies. Yeah, totally. 6 weeks is.
Yeah, I put yours at 6.
Yep,
I think that's
absolutely.
Gonna take a while.
Yep.
I think that our people should go down a little bit from an abundance to, like, I don't know if it just goes straight from abundance to scarcity, or if there's like middle levels, but I think that the robber baron would probably try to take a lot of people with them, or at least a sizable amount of people.
Yeah, I'm fine with that dropping down to we're getting kind of spread out now, so yeah, we'll drop that down to, let's just say, like, moderate.
Yeah, I like that. So we have less people to do large scale projects.
And if it is or isn't successful when we get there, a shit ton of people are going to die in the meantime anyway, either way. So
cool. Hey, good turn. That was a lot of cool stuff. Will, you got 10 of spring.
There is another community somewhere on the map. Where are they? What sets them apart of you? What belief or practice helps unify your community? I'm going to say there's another community here. Is there any chance that there is a native people on this planet?
There absolutely could be.
There is going to be a set of people. Draw their houses probably in red, because they build, I'm going to say, like a swinging, like, not necessarily like a tree fortress, but like a elevated off the ground. Like if you ever played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, in the Gerudo, where all the monsters have those like rope canyon bases, and so like the Gerudo Valley area, they've done that over here on the rocks.
and there is a group of people that live over. Because this is an unmapped world, they do not have any contact with any spacefaring races. We don't know what their technology level is. We don't know who they are. We don't know they're here. But they've seen something fall from the sky. They're living. They essentially have ropes from rock to rock, and they're living
Sweet.
over the valleys, like it's
Okay.
hanging. So they're
shit,
anchored
okay.
on the rocks, but those strings are like where their village is built.
Okay, cool. Okay. Now is their village visible
No.
from here?
Because
Okay.
the rocks are in the very far distance.
Even though it's not like a quote faction of our community, do you mind giving me maybe a name that they call them? Well, should we save that for a project to go?
I'm gonna say right now we'll have a faction called the Red Rocks, or the Red Rock people, because right now we've not communicated with them. If we do see them, like let's say the people I'm going to do the duck stuff might see something out there. We don't know who they are. We've not talked to them. There's no radio signals coming out of there.
Okay. And if you could relate them to any certain species of D&D or Daggerheart or kind of fantasy in general, is there any species that kind of is aligned with these folk?
I'm gonna say because what I'm imagining is these rocks with all of the holes are like porous volcanic rock that have tunnels through them. I'm trying to decide between an insect race of people or like a Jawa race where they're like smaller people like hobbits or something, but they're covered in cloaks. You don't really see their skin too much, and they're very light, so they can like walk around on other platforms without it being too much of a hassle.
That's cool. Yeah.
So, or maybe a combination of the two. Maybe it's insectoid type people with the Jawa type people.
Maybe. All right. Where are they? We've got that. What sets them apart? I mean, I feel like that is.
There's no radio signals coming out. So we don't know what their tech level is, but they've never contacted a spacefaring race, and this planet is unknown to us. So they could be a level 1 civilization. They could be something else. We don't know.
So I went ahead and adjusted the dice. We just have the two of Jake's. They went down 1 week each. Take an action, Will. Discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
I think we're going to start a project.
Okay.
And I think a group of scientists, unfactioned, just anybody who knows spacefaring technology or just like an industry, they're going to not tear apart the ship, but investigate the ship to see if it is dangerous, if it's leaking radiation, if it's going to explode. Is there a danger here?
And how many weeks would you say this project's going to take for these?
I'm going to
unfactioned
say
scientists?
1 week. They're not trying to harvest anything. They're literally just going, are we going to blow up and die? Can we stick around here? Can we do more projects in the future to tear apart the ship, or is it dangerous?
Cool beans.
Are there children in your community? If there are, what is their role in the community? Or how old are the eldest members of the community? What special needs do they have? I am going to pick, are there children in your community? If there are, what is their role in the community? And the answer is yes, there are children, and the children have been tasked with going around to all of the survivors and collecting all of the resources that they have, kind of like selling Girl Scout cookies, but asking for give me all your money so that we can pile up all of the resources available on the ship. So the children are being used to persuade all of the residents / survivors to fork over anything that they've been hiding and storing in their own room themselves. And that could be food, it could be clothing, or whatever kind of money we used to use.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up whoever's organizing these children, but you know. Are they providing
Sequoia add child labor?
Yeah. Are
Hell
they
yeah.
Child robbers.
they're
The
little
gang.
bandits actually.
Yeah.
They're not bringing them to an organized place for the ship. They're bringing them to their secret underground clubhouse that they've already built.
Yeah, no, the children are pretending that the grown-ups sent them on this mission, but really the children are doing this of their own volition.
Are they giving anything in return, or are they just going up and saying, "Hey, we need resources"?
No,
Okay.
the kids
All right.
are like, look at me, I'm a child. You don't want me to starve to death, do you? You need to give me everything you have
Oh my god.
for the greater good of our community.
It's Mole and the Child Gang from Baldur's Gate.
Finally, a reference I get.
Finally. All right. Anything else with yours?
I would say that they are doing this sort of 50-50 underground. Like, I think some grown-ups organized them to do this to an extent, but the kids are definitely taking it further than the grown-ups asked them to.
Oh shit.
And so the kids do have a stash going that's just known to the kids.
Does this group of children have like a faction name or anything? I'm gonna let you think on it. We have some
Yeah.
projects that are gonna tick down, but
Come back to me on that one.
I'm gonna come back to you on that because I want to know. Jake, the Quacken's domestication is resolved. What describe that scene to me? What happens here?
Okay. So Abigail has already proved that they can be
Prove that they're friendly but very protective of their babies. Aggressively so if you get too close to the babies. But outside of that, they're very friendly, and the younglings are friendly and curious.
I'm gonna go back to Abigail. She discovers that the Quackens, you can bond to one of them. They have, since they're blind, they have psychic abilities, but they'll only bond to one person. And if they ever die, it takes a huge toll on the person. It could destroy their mind.
We created Aragon's Dragon Riders, but much more fucked up, and also not dragons.
I mean, no, the Quackens can't fly. They're way too big.
They also have no eyes. Their beaks drip with a blood-like substance. They're psychic.
They're just completely normal Quackens. What do you mean?
I mean, this project is being resolved by Jake. I do have to ask: is it discovered? Do they actually have psychic powers or not?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So it's a site, but it's they don't have like telekinesis or anything like that. It's a psychic bond between the person who bonds with them and them. There's also a psychic bond within the herd, and that's how they communicate.
They're a hive mind. Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
They do
No,
have
I wouldn't say that's a
individual
hive mind.
personalities,
Yeah.
but there is
Okay.
a
So it's
hive
like-
mind element to it.
It's like Avatar with the animal and the
Yeah, but
connecting
without
of
the weird whole tether penis thing.
the whole yeah.
Good. Ship status investigation. Will, how's that go?
Right. They do a sort of like an inventory of the ship. There is minimal radiation, and the ship is unlikely to explode because the main ship reactor is dead and has the black decaying mark of the unknown entity. Smaller power cells do still function, just the ship reactor, like the main power supply of the ship reactor, is dead, and once those smaller batteries run out, we can't recharge them. I wanted to make it not unlivable or unusable, but we don't know if that mark is like the Jack Sparrow mark, if it's going to spread, if what's going to happen.
Okay, hey, Sequoia. You got a name for us?
Oh, yeah, band camp.
I love it!
Is that
That's
spelled
amazing.
with a?
Can they all have little code names, and all the code names are different instruments?
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck yeah.
Amazing.
Give me the leader. Who's the leader of Bandcamp?
The leader? Definitely clarinet.
There you go.
Amazing.
And what did we said they were like?
Children
bandit.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a great name. We adjust the dice. Take an action, Sequoia. Discover something new. Hold a discussion. Start a project.
Okay. Jake, you put the hot springs there, right? Those red lines, the like geothermic.
Those are geothermal energy. We don't know if there's steam down there. We just know the ground's hot.
Okay, all we know is the ground is hot.
Yeah.
There maybe is like some steam vents we see, but we don't know like what's down there specifically.
Project will be started by the cooks of the ship to try to leverage this as some sort of a food preparation / powering, maybe like seed germination in a greenhouse, boiling some water type area. We want to use that thermal
The
energy.
cooks are going to try to access the thermal energy.
Yeah, for food.
We should
Is
call
that
this project Thermal Kitchen.
yeah? So is that what the project is, to like find a way of using this to cook food?
To both cook food, like heat the food up, and also, unless it's like scalding, to use it to speed up seed germination for growing new food.
And how long do you think that's going to take?
Maybe 2 weeks. I think that if it doesn't go well, it would be pretty quickly obvious.
Okay.
Do you think that 2 weeks would be to access the thermal energy, or to like access it and also start harvesting it?
Unless it's really far away, which it doesn't look like it's super far away, like, it could be walked there and back in a day. I think 2 weeks to start using it.
Okay.
Okay.
I really hope our volcano doesn't explode, because we're sticking all of our chickens in this basket.
I would say I think one of these cards is like there's a natural disaster or something.
Oh boy.
So that was your turn, Sequoia. Tina, I'll let you read yours this time. You got the 4 of Spring.
What important and basic tool does the community lack? Or where are you storing your food? Why is it a risky place to store things? Well, we were discussing about growing food. We store the food very near our spaceship. So if the spaceship explode or a volcano explode, that is why it's kind of a risky thing to place it right next to our spaceship.
Yeah. Just to kind of elaborate off that, I think the scientists had proven that it won't blow up. It's safe in that regard, but there is a decaying mark on the ship that might cause some worry with the food being that close. Anything else you'd like to elaborate on that?
It's not just one place specifically, it's just different little campsites of food around the ship. So they don't all, if something were to happen to them, not the whole basis of our civilization food will collapse. It's just, it might be bad.
I've already adjusted the dice. Sequoia's went down to 1 week and Jake's went down to 3. Take an action. Tina, discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Hold a discussion.
Okay. Do you need a reminder on the rules of that at all?
Yes, please.
If you start with a statement, that's it for you. If you start with a question, you'll get to make a statement at the end of everyone talking as well.
What's up with the random circles that we saw on our way here? Who made those circles? What are they? What's their significance?
And kind of who from the community was asking about that? Anyone in particular or any faction?
So Abby has a brother of some sort that is very
shit.
interested in the geographical nature of this planet. There's rocks in the far corner. There's canyons, geysers, volcanoes, and then a big mountain ridge. What's causing these? Could it be the circles?
What's Abigail Rose's brother's name?
Steve Rose.
I like it.
I couldn't think of anything
Fucking
else.
Steve.
See, I
Just
immediately
Steve.
saw a giant handlebar mustache. Steve Rose.
He's a little bit older. He's the older of the twins. They're twins. Yep, they're twins.
He's the older one.
He's the older one. Yeah, they're not. He's the older twin.
So okay, I think the starting question there was what is up with the circles nearby and the thermal activity.
Yeah.
Is that a okay? Jake.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give your response, please.
I'm gonna say there's a scientist that like either saw it during the crash, like while they were there on the way down, and it caught their eye, and they think their hypothesis is that it's man-made. They don't know what it is, and they wanna go check it out. They want to make a. I guess would that be? Could you start a project inside someone else's discussion?
No.
Okay.
No, so that's basically someone in the community saying, I think we should go look at that.
Yep. Okay.
And then for or against it. I think some of the bobbies, one of them is going to speak up. Well, we had those people go down that way to look at the mountains, right? Should we wait until they get back to see if they got a better look at it as they were going by?
Sequoia?
I think that the ship's historian is going to speak up and say, those markings were clearly left by the Red Rocks people. If we want to understand them better and potentially forge an alliance, we should study these markings.
And then Tina, you could end with a statement.
Steve Rose is very interested in studying more about the Red Rock people and circles and why this specific area is so geologically active.
That was your action. So we head over to Jake next. You got the Ace of Spring here.
What group has the highest status in the community? What must people do to gain inclusion in this group? Are there distinct family units in the community? If so, what family structures are common?
Are we allowed to speak during other people's turns, like give suggestions, or is it like only?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that because we have a group of bandit children that just like are doing banditry with nobody concerned and how many people died on the shipwreck, I'm gonna say that there's probably a chance there's not a lot of like concrete small family structures, and there's more like groups of people that are working together. Like we have a lot of unity, but it looks like we're pretty factionalized rather than like the nuclear family of two parents and a child to each situation.
I'm actually gonna jump in as well, and I think our unity does need to move down to moderate because we are kind of spread out with people and also kind of faction.
Yeah.
Too.
I think we crash landed. We're like, this is a miracle of God, and then we all started disagreeing like we always do.
Yeah, as people do.
I think I might also argue that our food and water scarcity might have gone up just a little bit because we found the ducks and we found where there might be water because we've been observing the ducks in that environment. And either we're eating duck eggs or we're luring a duck out before it bonds with anybody and then getting some food.
But should that be a project?
I feel like that should be a project.
We can keep it at scarcity if you want. I just didn't know.
I think Abigail's whole thing was to use them as transport and farm animals, and not necessarily as a food source.
They also lay eggs, which those could be a food source.
Oh yeah, there's that.
That would be a giant.
That'd be a giant fucking. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say the food probably isn't scarce anymore, right? Well, no, because there is a the Quackens is scarce, right? So how much eggs could we actually?
From this specific area, it's scarce because there's only one tree area, but we don't know if there's other tree areas elsewhere.
Exactly.
All right.
Back to the
so
question.
I think I've got it.
What you got?
And I'm gonna play a little loose with it if that's okay. Are there distinct family units in the community? If so, what family structures are common? Yes, there are, but there aren't families like blood families. It's been fractured into a bunch of different, we can call them guilds if we want. Like there's the Bobbies, right? You got the Empire, the Rebels, but the one thing that they have in common is that it's a matriarchal society, and pretty much the head of every there's the grandma on the porch telling everybody what to do. You know, they're all a multiple or more common to have females as faction leaders and running the show.
Got it. All right.
So our factions might be developing into like a guild mindset
Yeah.
of like,
Yep.
gotcha. Cool.
Adjust the dice. I think someone's project's gonna be ending. Yeah, thermal kitchen. Tell us, Sequoia, how's that one go?
I think that the seed germination project part of that failed because the heat that is coming off of those geothermal veins in the ground is just too high. So that part did not work. However, it is successfully being used to boil water so that it's safe to drink and prepare food that needs to be cooked. At least make it more palatable. I don't know if we have like pre-made food in packages, we can just heat
I
it
think
up
we're
and get
yeah,
it.
we probably have those like camping
Yeah.
emergency meals that we are quickly going through.
Yeah, so we're like happier because we're eating warm packaged food and safe water. But we did ruin some seeds.
I'm actually gonna add a resource then to seeds that we may have had from previous worlds and put that as a scarcity. Let's see. Jake, now you get to take an action, discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
What would be under discover something new? Like something new on the map?
Yeah, let me read out the section for you just so you can have a good understanding of how the game wants you to do it. One type of action types is discover something new. Introduce a new situation. It might be a problem, an opportunity, or a bit of both. Draw that situation onto the map. Drawing should be small and simple, smaller than an inch, finished within 30 seconds. Whenever things seem too controlled or easy, we can use this action to introduce new issues or dilemmas. When individual characters get introduced, we give them names and record those names on our index cards. Some examples: there's a dried up well located on the edge of town. Mangy wolves have been slinking around the woods. There's a broken down water wheel a mile upstream. Strange wailing noises come from the forest at night, and a self-declared prophet arrives. Those were just examples, of course.
I think right now we don't have a lot of chaos going on. Like it doesn't feel like we do.
Oh, I've
But I
got
think
an idea for some chaos.
Ooh, what you got? What you got?
there was a butt there, but that's okay.
Oh
What's the
no,
chaos?
go ahead.
I was just gonna say that we have very little food and water. We started with very little, and we've not done anything to fix it, and it's almost been 6 weeks. So
We are
I think our-
starving.
Good point.
We
Okay.
we are
think-
also sorry,
Okay,
we are
put it-
also still living in the ship, I think.
yeah, I think people resource is about to start going down because
Okay.
we're not gonna be able to sustain that resource.
People
So
been
what
dying.
What you got?
What were the other
got?
other options?
Discover, or sorry, hold a discussion or start a project.
Or discover something new, right?
Or discover something new. And now I want to know what you were going to discover.
I was, but it doesn't help any of those things that we just said. And it's
Don't
No, you can do whatever
focus
you
on
want.
don't focus on helping. This is yeah.
Chaos.
Focus on whatever would happen. You're not
there.
stumbling upon like. Sorry, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
One of the reasons you can't. We have a hard time discovering what's going on with these guys over here up in the top left corner. There is, now I'm going to say one of my favorite words ever, a haboob, a giant dust storm that comes through here, but it's eerily on schedule.
Ooh, I like that.
It happens at the same time every day.
Ooh.
It's
Ooh.
around this area right here. I'll do like,
Please, you're gonna have to draw on the map, please.
yeah. Can I just, what's the, not pen it, freehand, right? Is what I want.
Yeah.
This. And
Oh, it's a lot bigger than I was expecting.
that's like an inch, right?
Yeah.
People have tried to cross and they get so lost in there, they end up just turning around and they say they see things in the sand.
Ooh, anything in particular that anyone's seen?
Voices. They hear voices, and they see like sand-colored shadows moving around.
That's terrifying. Thanks for that.
Mhm.
That was your turn. Will, you got the 3 of spring.
So either someone new arrives, who, or two of the community's younger members get into a fight. What provoked them? I am first gonna say that I think on our resources, mobility is moderate now because we've gotten our mounts, right?
I'll take
So I
that.
feel like our mobility. So if we do any projects that are further away, I think they can take less time of like travel at least.
Oh yeah.
Can I
Okay.
say that since it's scarce, there's only a certain amount, so they have to like hire these people that have gotten the mounts, and it
Yeah, we can say that. I think for the like looseness of the rules, saying that it's moderate and not abundant feels good.
gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's the issue isn't solved completely. So like we can't do a bunch of projects away without it still taking a lot of time. But it just is going to take some time. Or
Okay.
it's going to save like 1 or 2 projects that are far away. Someone new arrives. I think that there is a caravan of traders that come up and out of the valley, our canyon next to us, and we're gonna put them. I don't know if they actually use a wagon, but I'm just gonna draw a little wagon with a stick figure guy. And we'll say that there is a group of nomadic traders that come up from the valley, and they're gonna say that there is other crash sites. They've been doing some trading, they've seen some other stuff, and they're willing to trade us food and water for some of our technology. So we'll lose some of our technology, but we'll salvage some of our resources if the group agrees to it. And I think that my project's going to relate to that.
Okay.
Or actually, I'll do a discussion first.
Okay.
If that's okay. It'll be a
gonna-
question. Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna add technology as a resource here and put it at abundance right now, and then
Yeah.
that may go down.
Yeah. My discussion is going to start with some of the freedom fighters because they've been kind of concerned about food and resources. We think that we should give out some of this technology. It's not doing us any good right now. We think that we should do some trading to get some.
Sequoia.
Okay, I think that Blackthorn and Kessler are they around?
They're on an
Some
expedition.
remnants. I think some remnants have probably stayed behind to be able to speak for them.
The actual Baron themselves probably did not go. He's not going to go brave the wilds. He's just going to send people to do it. That's what he does.
Okay. So they're going to speak up and say, no, we need to maintain our technology resources. A little bit of suffering right now is worth us being able to multiply this technology and dominate.
Hell yeah. Tina.
I guess the Abby Steve wrote the Rose Group. I'm making a new fact. The Rose Group is kind of concerned about the resources, the natural resources that we have, which is rocks, ducks, and blood trees, are not being sustainable, are not being developed in a sustainable way. And we need to sell the technologies so they can sell us some sort of sustainability for these trees and the quackens and the volcanoes. Do they have any sort of knowledge instead of just food and other goods?
Okay. And then Jake.
The loyalists want to just take the food and resources from the traders and force them to tell where they get their food and water and where the other ships are.
All right. So that was the discussion because you started with a statement, correct?
Yeah, that was my statement.
Okay.
And the group of traders, we're gonna call them the Drift Gurus, and they look like a group of like humanoid people that wear long white robes or like gray colored robes that like cover them like almost like sun, like the sun coverings in a desert, and they carry their goods on the back of giant worms. And by giant worms, I mean like 5 to 6 meters long, not like the giant earthworms that will eat people, but like a horse-sized earthworm.
Oh boy.
I love all these gigantic animals. Amazing.
Oh boy.
Gotta have mounts.
Told you guys I'm probably gonna give you a trade.
Still needs to be a train.
And during all that, I did adjust the dice. Just a real quick, just make sure we can adjust the dice and have those projects completed before doing our actions, just in case.
Yeah.
Because they might like affect what you want to do. Sequoia.
Yeah.
Let's take a break and then do your turn.
Okay.
I was gonna do your turn and I was like, well, it's the top of the order. Let's take a break and then reconvene really quickly and then get through your turn.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jake, and we just wanted to take a moment to thank you for listening to this episode. We're not sponsored and we don't advertise, so the only way this podcast will spread is by word of mouth. So please let your friends know or tweet about us using hashtag the Prism Archives. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Check us out every Tuesday on Twitch at the Prism Archives. Thanks again. Next episode will be up the first Monday of next month. We look forward to telling you our story. Back to the show.
I think Mel had to pee.
No, I think that they want ice cream because they just watched both of us snack. I don't know what your snack was. What was your snack?
The Sam's Club near us has these Nutella biscuits. They're just like shortbread cookies that have Nutella on the inside of them. It's almost like an Oreo but with Nutella. And
Ooh.
they're so fucking good.
I'm not a big Nutella fan.
Sequoia, you need to leave right now. Or in a fight.
It's not good.
Nutella's.
Okay,
I love Nutella.
I was joking before, but now I'm serious.
I don't like hazelnuts or I'm not big on like nut butters. Like I don't like peanut butter really. Or
I'm just really
Mhm,
sad
that's
because
fine.
I can't have any nuts. Fiance is allergic and I refuse to like do that to him, but I used to eat the shit out of Nutella.
a really long time since I've had Nutella.
It was good as fuck.
I do like regular Oreos. Those are good.
I like the thin mint ones.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
No.
You stick those in the fridge.
Chocolate and mint don't belong together.
What?
No.
I am very
Terrible
sad.
combination. Terrible
Sequoia, why do you have
combination.
such bad opinions?
You get 2 of spring, if you don't mind reading that out.
There's a large body of water on the map. Where is it? What does it look like? Or there is a giant man-made structure on the map. Where is it? Why is it abandoned? Okay. I'm going to go for large body of water, and I am going to say that it is across the canyon on the other side. Somebody notices this in some kind of explorations around that there appears to be unknown. We don't know if it's an ocean or if it's a really large lake, but on the other side of the canyon, it appears to be all water for as far as I
Sure.
can see over there.
Okay, that answers your card while you're drawing that. Jake, your project of Devil Spine exploration has completed. It's kind of mapping out and finding a way through it. How's it resolved? What happens?
So I want to say, I'm going to say they lost about 70% of the people that went with them.
Holy shit.
But they did find a way through, and actually a perfect place to blast through and start a potential railroad system. And that's their next move is to establish a railroad system.
Sequoia, take an action, discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Okay, I'm going to say that. Who was the group that was assessing the ship? Do we have them named, or was that just?
They were
That was
not.
a-
They were not named. They were just unaffiliated scientists. They came together and said, "This ship might blow up. Let's see if we should move or not."
Okay.
And they didn't really stick together after that. They just kind of went back to their separate factions.
Okay. One
Unless
of
you
them.
want them to group up.
No, I don't think so. But one of them has discovered that the ship is sinking into the ground
Fuck yeah, I love that.
at a rate that means that alternate location for everything that we're still doing inside the ship is going to need to change.
Okay. That was I'm guessing a discovery then.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. That's terrifying. Especially again, we haven't set up like an encampment
Yeah.
really outside of this ship yet. So I
Yeah,
feel like a lot
we're
of
gonna
people are
need
still on
to.
it.
I think everybody is still living there pretty much.
Tina, you got
Before
the
you
Jack
take your-
of. Sorry, go ahead.
Before you take your turn, Tina, what color do you?
Sea moss.
Oh, yeah.
Sea foam, whatever the heck that color is.
So is this a joke or did you guys all mean to do like different shades of green that are pretty much all the same shades and I'm not going to be able to tell the difference between the colors? Was that all on purpose? Am I going to re-listen to the recording and you guys are like, hey, let's play a trick on Mel?
It genuinely isn't, and it's kind of fucking funny.
Ridiculous.
I was green first months ago, so it's not my fault.
Ridiculous. I swear, if I listen to that recording and hear some fucking plotting.
Literally, the only thing that was rude to you was after you left, I said Nell's got pee for the recording. And then no one agreed with me. Everyone was like, nah, they just want ice cream. And I was like, nah.
Oh fuck, I forgot to grab ice cream.
Ha!
Damn
Right.
it. I just finished my tea and Heather went to bed, so you know, Wombo.
Do we go get ice cream real quick?
Dude, go get some ice cream.
It is
Yeah.
9:25 at night. I probably shouldn't get it. You know, I'll be able to hear. Tina, you got the Jack of Spring.
You see a good almond, what is it? Or you see a bad almond, what is it?
Oh shit.
I feel like I've only been really doing the positive stuff. You see a
No,
bad.
you created horror creatures. I don't want to hear anything
Hey,
about
hey, hey!
positive
Those
stuff.
creatures were helping us, and they are friendly. Just don't mess with their babies. Yeah, I'm gonna do a bad almond. What is while the ship is sinking, the little black X or the black sparrow thing also seems to be moving.
Oh, I hate it. I know I introduced it, but I fucking hate it.
What's starting to move?
The ship isn't going to explode because the engine was essentially eaten by the unknown entity. Like whatever's been shutting down power got us right before we crashed,
Okay.
and that is moving now. Is it spreading or is
Oh,
it like
shit.
a whole black? spot's
Oh
moving?
shit.
The
Okay.
whole X or whatever. It wasn't moving before.
looks-
It was staying still. It didn't seem to be living, but now
I think in
it's
my mind-
crawling.
Okay, I think in my mind it looked like a black mold or like a black sludge, like black oily stuff that just we couldn't get off of the ship, and we're like, this
Nanoplague.
looks like the unknown entity thing. And you're saying it's not moving.
It's now
uh,
moving. It's
okay.
not moving fast. It's an inch every 6 months.
It's kind of
Very slow,
fast.
very meticulous, but it's moving towards other electronics.
It's a good thing the ship's burying itself, but I don't think we get to take anything off of it.
You could try.
Scary. It looks like we don't have any projects going right now, so no dice go down. Tina, take an action, discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Can we get a recap of all the things that are kind of moving on the board right now, real quick? Like the events that are currently happening. So, like, our ship is sinking.
Yes.
The traders are here. We've discovered the ducks. We've had people come back from the railroad, but people died out there. There's a sandstorm moving. There's water over to the side, but we don't know if it's good drinkable water or like salt water. I was trying to refresh myself because I was trying to. There's a lot happening right now.
Yeah, I think the only thing I need to comment there was the people that went to the mountain to explore. I don't think they came back. I think they are setting up there to start another project out there.
Oh, okay. And we don't know that people have died out there, so we have no idea if they're coming back or not.
Correct. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think maybe someone from that group was like, "Hey, we're gonna go spend 6 weeks and go look at this," and now 6 weeks have passed, and there's been no word from them since. But I mean,
do they have communications devices? And if so, are they working?
There currently is nothing to transmit signals.
I think they would be, since they're a conglomerate or they're a company. They might have runners, someone to run a message back, but one person in the desert, like who knows if they can actually get back to the settlement and
exactly
how reliable that is.
Everybody's grabbing their shit from the ship and trying to scavenge everything that hasn't been touched by this black sludge, hoping that it didn't transfer, at least physically. Everybody's grabbing shit. I feel like that takes like maybe a week, maybe 2.
Are they breaking apart the actual ship, or are they just taking shit out of it?
They're taking everything that they can scavenge.
But we're not like breaking it down for shit materials.
No,
we're
no,
not
we are.
increasing our building materials. Okay.
We're taking
Yeah,
everything
that's
that
just
isn't nailed down that can be like broken apart to materialize, or like any technologies that hasn't been touched by the black sludge.
In 2 weeks, we could probably increase our building supplies from scarcity to moderate. I think if we wanted to like fully scrap the entirety of the spaceship, it might take longer. But it is sinking, so I understand the 2 weeks of like wanting to do it quickly.
I'm assuming 2 weeks is about when the ship is gonna be all the way sunken into the ground.
I see. Okay.
So we only get 2 weeks, period.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Jake, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You got the 8 of spring.
An old piece of machinery is discovered, broken but perhaps repairable. What is it? What would it be used for? Or an old piece of machinery is discovered, cursed and dangerous. How does a community destroy it? All right, I'm gonna say while Blackthorn and Kessler, they start to break through the mountain, and they find some type of alien technology that they start to retrofit into a train.
That was the card. Adjust the dice. Tina's goes down to 1 week. Take an action, Jake.
Has anybody gone to check out those circles yet? Do we have anybody doing that?
No, I think that was brought up in a discussion, but never
followed up on.
Okay. And I think from that discussion, some people said to talk to the Red Rock folk. Someone else agreed that they wanted to go check it out too. And I think someone said they didn't want to check it out. I don't remember. I should be reading.
I think somebody said let's wait for the group to come back from that direction. They went to go explore the mountains.
Yeah, that's what.
But they never came back.
It was the Rose group wanted to explore more of try to find out what happened to the mountain range and the little red circle.
I'm going to start a project.
Okay.
And I am going to say, can I pick all the factions to do something, or do I have to stay with one faction to do something?
It could be a collection of people from every faction.
It might use some of our unity though.
Yeah, this actually might make unity go down a little bit. I say with the black goo spreading, everybody pulling that stuff apart, factions or whatever the factions are start to splinter off and start establishing communities, different towns and settlements.
So is this a project to have a group of just different faction members?
Yeah, I say
off to make a new community.
Yeah, I say there's a. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'd be taking up too much without like a discussion with the rest of the group. But
no, that's how stuff happens, man. Some people are just like, we're going, we're bye.
Okay, so I think Yeah, I think the freedom fighters go to establish something, and then the loyalists are staying or are probably establishing their base at the base of the ruins of the ship or around there. Or no, how about I'm going to go back. I just want to say all whatever whatever factions we decide want to start towns, this is when they do it. There's like an exodus of people starting to go, wanting to go and build places.
So, I mean, it sounded like you were saying multiple groups, though. Is this
Yeah, that's
multiple groups going to different
to
areas
different
to make their
areas.
own?
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
thinking.
Are they bringing any materials that were already pretty scarce with them?
What do they have access to right now? I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I think the freedom fighters and rebels might be taking like machinery with them to maybe, make something like a 6-shooter or some type of weaponry. The loyalists would have maybe a monopoly on some of the technology off the ship.
All right, I've dropped our building materials. I'm just going to call it like bare. We have very little building materials now at this like main crash site. And then I dropped our technology from abundant to moderate because I think maybe some technology was taken as well. How long do you think it's going to take these multiple groups to go out and kind of decide where they're going to make settlements?
Probably quite a while.
I'm gonna bump it up to a pretty high number. Let's say
Maybe like 5 weeks or something.
Oh, I was gonna go higher. I was gonna go
Oh.
months.
Okay.
Ooh,
12 weeks? How are we feeling about 3 months to
Yep.
on foot
makes
go
sense.
Yeah,
explore?
yeah, and it's multiple settlements, right? So
This is the last card in spring, by the way. So we
Oh.
were able to make it through. Yeah, it's five of spring.
There's a disquieting legend about this place. What is it? Or alarming weather patterns destroy something. How and what? Okay, I'm gonna roll a dice for this because I think both are really fun.
There's one that I'm really hoping you choose, and also doing something specific, but we'll see.
Is it the volcano?
No.
Oh,
I could tell you. No, just you do. I don't want to impact the game.
it's a disquieting legend, and I'm gonna do my turn a little bit out of order if that's okay. I'm gonna do my like action and then what the like thing is, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna do working with the traders, and that's where the legend's gonna come from.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll tell you what the legend is, and then they found it out from the traders.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Do that.
The legend is that this area, this sort of like, I don't want to say caldera, but this valley between the volcano and the mountains leading into the canyon is called the Great Mouth. And the reason the ship is sinking and the reason that most of the area is really sandy is because the World Eater lives below this ground with a giant maw that the quicksands sink slowly, and anything on top of it for prolonged periods will sink down to the sand and be eaten. And you can tell where the great maw moves based on the red dots below our settlements.
I love that.
Very disquieting legend.
Is that what you were looking for or no?
I really like that, and obviously just gonna go ahead and use that. What I was hoping, this might be a little bit dark, but some sort of tremor that would have made the ship go down with everyone that was scrapping it go with it.
Oh, that would have been
Okay.
bad.
Wow, dead
but
people. Lots of dead people.
I didn't go that far, but
Probably lots of dead kids too.
Well,
a reason why people might not stay in this area. That might also be why the exodus is happening. But a group, one of the I don't know which one it's going to end up being, is going to trade some technology, probably dropping us from moderate to scarce, to the traders for more food and water to support this exodus so that we don't all die in the desert. And also to teach them how to farm the seeds they have around the trees where the ducks are, so that a settlement can kind of start around the duck tree area or the quacken tree area. And
so I'm guessing that's you starting a project, correct?
Yes, that is me starting a project. And
Okay.
I'm going to say that's going to be probably 3 weeks of like the trade happens and they teach us how to farm for 3 weeks and how to like use the soil of the desert.
Tina, your ship resource scavenging project finished. how was that resolved?
They found lots of technologies that wasn't on the ship before. It seems like somebody from the ship or that was on the ship now in like commonplace with the people was making androids. They were half finished, but they had a kind of a personality of themselves. Like they could talk and they would kind of interact with whoever discovered them. Let's say the kids group was the ones discovering them. They kind of have high intelligence but low wisdom. They don't really know what the world is like, and they trust too freely. And the androids are not welcome by any group except for the kids. And they kind of live in hiding when they were discovered. But aside from the androids, which was, let's just say there were 5 of them, they recovered most of what was on the ship. I feel like the ship resource could increase a little bit, maybe instead of, was it abundance or moderate?
Our building materials went down to bare because of all the.
I think with the deconstruction of the ship and the kids finding 5 androids, it became maybe moderate again because it's a lot of tech.
Bandcamp, when they discovered these 5 androids, I know you said they're not welcome by any group except the children. Did the Bandcamp, did they release that information? Like, did they show anyone these androids or bring them to anyone, or did they try to keep them hush hush?
They try to keep them hush hush, but they are big clunky androids that aren't all the way finished, and somebody made them. They don't seem to answer to any master, but they are getting along with the kids, and they're kind of clunky. They try to be hush hush, but it's kind of obvious to any adult watching in that they're androids and they weren't on the ship before. What happened?
I have a question for you. Whether the settlers know that it's there or not, because we have sort of this omniscient perspective. Do any of the androids have black sludge on them? Are they being created by something that's not one of the settlers?
It seems like one of them has a little bit of issues just like functioning. A little bit of a tick here and there, not very graceful like the other androids. We don't know what's causing it, but it's definitely a little bit more wore down than the other.
I think with this discovery and the superstition that already goes through this community, and the non-accepting of the androids and the black sludge, all of that put together, I think I'm going to add a quote resource of fear of technology and put that at
Abundance, maybe.
I would say abundance, yeah.
Yeah. Just with the superstition that already runs through this community and everything combining and the unknown entity to begin with, I think there's already kind of a worry of androids and robots, but this has only increased it. I wanted to jump in and take a contempt, and I don't remember what it was for.
We've gotten a lot of contempts, I feel like.
I wanted to take one for the settlement exodus.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And I think our unity is shot now. I don't think we're in moderate anymore. I think we're at scarcity.
Let's drop that down to people is probably also scarcity.
Yeah. I think as like a grouped unit, yes, I think the individual settlements are probably doing pretty okay. I think food and water also went up a little bit. Or they will once the project finishes with the traders. Never mind.
Yeah.
We did the King of Spring, right? Did somebody dig in the ground, or did like an old man confess their?
Oh, did we not do that?
I don't remember that one. And also, that would make it 13. And if we ended on me, we've only done 12.
Hey, the King of Spring was not in the spring section of my cards. Sequoia.
Nice.
King of Springs, Sequoia.
A young boy starts digging in the ground and discovers something unexpected. What is it? Or an old man confesses to past crimes and atrocities. What has he done? Okay, one of the bobbies comes forward and admits to killing some of the loyalists and dumping them in the canyon, and that's what the pile of bones was.
Oh shit.
Hell yeah.
I was like, as soon as they crashed, they went after some loyalists.
Damn.
Yeah. because he had connections to the freedom fighters. Although I'd like to add that his admission does not account for all of the bones in the.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm
this
sure that.
was-
I think. Can we take a contempt on a card? I'm gonna say there's contempt off of that announcement.
Yeah, probably that wasn't really well received by everybody.
Just a tad bit, just a little.
I think there's also another contempt between those that believe the legend of the Great Maw and those that don't about whether they want to settle somewhere within the valley or travel even further. So kind of like supporting more of the exodus of like who wants to settle by the trees because those are still in the valley. And if the legend is to be believed, and there's a giant worm eating everything below the ground.
Sequoia, go ahead and take an action, please.
My action will be I'd like to make another discovery,
Okay.
which is that at night there is a sort of a green light that can be seen coming out of one of the calderas of the volcanoes. And upon further investigation, just from afar, nobody's gone and checked it out. It actually does seem like that volcano mound does not look like the other two and looks like it could possibly be man-made or fake in some way. It doesn't look like the other two calderas.
For all your green laser beam shooting in the sky.
Maybe it's a secret building, an underground community.
Maybe
Some
it's
other-
Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
It's Mabel.
Is it green smoke or?
Oh, like a light. Well, there's smoke coming out of it because it definitely, unless you're really looking at it, looks like the other two volcanoes. But I'm imagining that it's
Is it like a consistent green light, or is it like flashes of green light are happening?
like almost like there's like fluorescent lighting inside, like that.
Oh, so there's like a green glow coming out of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's very faint, but
It's full of uranium.
it's clearly not a volcano like the other two. Something's different about it.
It's a toxic sludge dump site.
No, it's a hideout. Or maybe it is a toxic sludge dump site. That's not for me to say.
Okay, I have a little short thing here to read, just to kind of close this out here. It is a warm night in late spring when the world shudders. Only days have passed since the admission of canyon murders, loyalists cast down by the elders, and already the ground beneath us groans like some restless beast. From the jagged ridges of the Devil's Spine in the south to the Dragon Blood groves in the north, all feel the tremors ripple through the earth. Sand cascades down the walls of the Great Mouth. The crash site stirs. Those nearest the wreck see it first, the land itself awakening. The geothermal veins south of the calderas blaze with a molten orange glow. Heat shimmers across the horizon. One caldera mouth, thought long dormant, spills not fire but green light, an eerie brilliance that cuts through the night sky. A single wave follows, unseen but undeniable. It spreads from the wound in the world, a pulse that washes over every survivor of the crash. For a week, the air feels heavier, heads ache with pressure, and vision blurs as if reality itself has been knocked off balance. The very rings within the Great Mouth shift, drawing inward, circling the broken arc as if to claim it. Fear grips the camps, but so does something else. Wonder and determination. A sense that this world has not only scars but secrets. That within its heart lies a power waiting to be understood, or unleashed. The quiet year continues.